will answer question number 1 in the name of Andrew Little.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister and asks, does he still believe that people who oppose the deployment of New Zealand soldiers to train Iraqi government forces need to, quote, get some guts and join the right side, close quotes, in light of widespread evidence that Iraqi government forces are committing war crimes?
Speaker, right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, yes, the right side is the international coalition of over 60 countries who are contributing to the campaign against ISIL. ISIL is a brutal threat to stability not only in the Middle East but regionally and locally too. I'm advised that the Iraqi government is investigating allegations of abuses by Shia militia and individuals within the Iraqi security forces. We share the concerns of other partners about these allegations and we will ensure our view is communicated to the Iraqi government.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Given that everyone in this House agrees ISIS is evil, how is it gutsy to force young New Zealanders to train an army guilty of many of the same crimes as ISIS?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, that's not correct. We won't. We will set the terms of the mission, including who we'll train, how we'll train them and when we'll train them.
So how do you choose?
Order. Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
What has the government done to ensure New Zealanders won't help the Iraqi units that have committed war crimes and been banned from receiving US assistance under Leahy's law?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
I think members answered his own question. The US have identified those involved. The government will make it clear to the Iraqi government, as indeed the Americans have, that we find that behaviour reprehensible. The Iraqi forces must be consistent with the law, otherwise they stoop to the same level of ISIL. But I go back to the point I made earlier. We'll set the terms of the mission, including who will train, how we'll train them and when we'll train them.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Will he give the New Zealand public a cast-iron guarantee that under no circumstances will our troops work with Iraqi army units or militia that have committed war crimes?
Mr Speaker,
right Honourable Prime Minister.
What I can guarantee is in terms of our own deployment, we're still planning the mission to Tajay. However, we'll set the terms of the mission, including who will train, how we'll train and when we'll train them.
Supplementary.
Order. Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Why has he declared that the deployment to Iraq will end, whether or not its objectives are completed, about 6 months before the next election? Is that just a coincidence?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, no.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Isn't the truth this? While the goal of defeating ISIS is noble and shared on this side of the House, his plan risks our forces mixing with war criminals, has a cut-and-run exit strategy and is timed with the New Zealand election in mind, not the Iraqi people.
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
The government's committing to building partner capability in Iraq for 2 years. In our view, that is an appropriate step for us to take given the threat from ISIL. The member said in his opening statements that he found the actions of ISIL barbaric, and words to those effect. We agree with him. On this side of the House, we're prepared to do something about it.
Question number